What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So, sorry that I haven't been around for the past week, I guess. Once I got back from PAX, I kind of wasn't feeling the greatest. Wasn't a little under the weather. Still getting, it was a long flight coming back. I think it was like 30 hours plus I was in airports and flying. So, I was just not in the greatest of, situations to do recordings and stuff like that. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't get the latest Flash, Arrow, and the previous Rebels done. But we're starting. We'll just start off fresh this week. We'll get back into it. And what better way to do it than with Star Wars Rebels? One of my favorite shows that I watch now. It only gets better and better. It really does. It only gets better and better. So once again, guys, you guys know what the deal is. This is huge spoilers. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of this episode. So if you have not watched this episode, go and watch it. Go and watch it, and then come on back. Then come on back. You'll know what we're talking about, and I won't spoil it for you because I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, and then come on back. Okay. Alright, so, Twin Sons. Essentially the Obi-Wan Kenobi episode. This was the trailer, the mid-season trailer we got. This was the episode that they were pretty much showing. All the Obi-Wan Kenobi, like older Obi-Wan Kenobi things that we saw was in this episode. And I liked this episode. I really did. It was still high up in that, like, the high tier that they've been doing this season. I think the thing that disappointed me a little bit was the fight between Maul and Obi-Wan. I guess this was kind of like the curse of Darth Maul. Like, Darth Maul has been freaking shafted at every freaking time that you could possibly imagine. Like, he gets owned. He just gets owned by everyone. Like, episode 1. Basically gets taken down by a Padawan in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was used to create the legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I still feel like if they had kept Maul alive and made Maul the bad guy going forward instead of Dooku, just the old man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Dooku. I like, the actor who played Dooku. I can't remember his name at the moment, but I like the way he was played. But I still think if Maul had more of a speaking role, more like what he was in the animated series, like the Clone Wars and also Rebels, it would have made the prequels better. I really do. But again, he gets he gets shafted again. And he gets taken out there. Then when he starts to get a bit of power back, he starts to show a little bit more. Clone Wars, he gets owned by the Emperor. Emperor owns his ass hugely. Kills his brother. Everything, just throws him away. He becomes an old man. And now, when he just starts to get a little bit, up there, gets owned by Obi-Wan Kenobi in 2 shots. They have the fight is literally they clash lightsabers. Then essentially he goes to strike. Obi-Wan slices his lightsaber in half and slices him. Dead. Absolutely just shows the class above that Obi-Wan is at. But the thing is, like, in a few years, like, I guess this timeline is about, I reckon it's about 9 to maybe 10 years ahead of what New Hope is. So I guess 10 years is a long time, like, age-wise. But in, like, say, around 10 years, he's gonna get cut down by Darth Vader at the Death Star. And he did not look as good in this. I get it. It was the first episode ever, the first time we ever saw Star Wars, so we can't really use that as a measuring stick. But this episode showed how like far above Obi-Wan Kenobi is. Like how much he's mastered his craft, and like Maul is nothing. Like Maul caused havoc for Kanan and all the rest of it, and like Ahsoka and Ezra. He's been nothing but a pain. He was nothing to Obi-Wan. Absolutely nothing. Like he wasn't even a test. He just got brushed off, killed, boom, done. It was very interesting to watch. I was hoping for like a kind of a sequel to the Duel of Fates, like get the music going, you have a pretty much a badass like night desert fight. No. It was done in like 2 seconds. It was literally like a Padawan taking on a master. That was it. And it shows how far Darth Maul has fallen. Like he's got nothing now. And how high Obi-Wan is. So yeah. So I really liked the way they did Obi-Wan in this episode. I really did. He was the older Obi-Wan, the originals Obi-Wan, which I liked. I mean, I love Ewan McGregor, like, in his style, and the way they did Clone Wars Obi-Wan, I like all of that. That's fine with me. But this was kind of like a homage to the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. This was more of him. And I think, for those of us who love the the originals, it was cool to see them sort of go his way. Like, try to mimic his voice, get someone that sounds a bit like him, things like that. I liked it a lot. I think it was good. I think it really was. And also his mannerisms, the way he was acting is very much old Obi-Wan. The way he was treating Ezra, like, he's kind of like he's resigned to the fact of what he is, like who he is, things like that. It was good. It was really good. And I mean, in the fight scene, he does the whole, like, two-finger thing, like Obi-Wan style. It's cool. I like that a lot. I still don't understand why Obi-Wan does that. I don't. He does it like, he did it in episode 3. No one knows why. And then they've just made it his style from then on. I guess it's the fighting style he uses. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, this episode, I liked the way they did Obi-Wan. I really did. I think it was quite cool. And that final scene, when Obi-Wan is sort of like riding up to Luke's like farm, like the house there, with his aunt and uncle, and they use the sound clip of his aunt saying Luke, Luke. They used that sound clip from the original, from episode 4, and then you see the little boy running with the two sons sitting in the background. That gave me goosebumps. With the music. The music was spot on. Like, that was full on New Hope. Like, it was really, really good. I loved that. That gave me goosebumps. It really did. That's the old original Star Wars nerd in me just freaking out. Like, it was good. It was really, really good. I loved that part of the episode. I think that was probably one of the best scenes, like, in this entire episode. It really was. But anyway, I guess the whole premise of this episode was like Maul trying to find Obi-Wan, like trying to draw him out. And he's like in the desert, he can't find him. So he hatches this plan to basically make Ezra either find him or lure Obi-Wan out so that Obi-Wan will come find Ezra. And he uses the holocrons to do that, and that's where we see the scene from the trailers where he's like the holocron's kind of glitching, and it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, that sort of thing going on. We see that scene, and basically Ezra's determined, like, I gotta go to Tatooine, and I gotta find out what's going on. I need to find Master Obi-Wan. I need to tell him that Maul's coming for him, and all that. And he literally just steals an A-Wing. He steals an A-Wing, and Chop goes along with him. By the way, I really like Chop. I love Chopper. I think he's, like, in that group of great Star Wars droids. I really do. I think, the R2s, the C-3POs, the BB-8s, I guess now K2, and I put Chop in there too. I think Chop has earned his way into that spot. Maybe not above them, because those guys are like movie quality. Like, no one can beat R2. I would put BB-8 slightly maybe above C-3PO, because C-3PO kind of annoys me sometimes. But, I mean, C-3PO's got the nostalgia to him. So, maybe R2, C-3PO, BB-8, K2, then Chop. But he's in that group. I really do like him. But anyway, like, Chop stows away, and they basically try and go find him. And, they land on Tatooine, and Sand People, like, basically, Maul has got him to go, like, using holocron pieces, lured him into this trap where Sand People attack the ship, and blow up the A-Wing. And they basically, like, he tries to use the holocron pieces to find out where Maul is to stop Maul. And essentially, Maul lures him out into the sands. Lures him out into the sands, into the desert. Chop runs out of gas, runs out of battery, and then Ezra pretty much passes out. And that's when Obi-Wan finds him. Obi-Wan basically sensed that Ezra was there and goes and helps him. And the conversation they have where, Ezra's like trying to tell him, like, well, Maul's coming, Maul's thing. He's like, Obi-Wan's like, yeah, okay. I was hoping that I wasn't going to have to fight him. I tried not to. But I guess I'm going to have to now, thanks to you. And he's like, but the holocrons told me that you were the thing that was going to try, you were going to defeat the Sith, defeat the Empire. He's like, no, that was just Maul. Maul was tricking you. Truth's only what we perceive it to be. That whole from my point of view thing that Star Wars seems to be on, like, well, my point of view, the Jedi are evil. They use that a little bit with Truth. Basically what he was doing was hiding the fact that the holocrons were pointing him not to Obi-Wan, but to Luke. But he's trying to hide Luke. So he's trying to make it sound like, no. Maul just tricked you. Don't worry about it. I'm not the answer. My place is here. I ain't coming to help you with the rebellion. That's not going to happen. You just need to go home. Go home. I'll deal with Maul. Then everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. You have what you need. That's it. You're just throwing it away by coming to these places and trying to save the day by yourself. Which essentially is like, you have your family. That's all you need right now. You do not need this old man to go in and try and save the day. So, yeah. In a sense, he's doing everything to protect Luke. To keep the secret of Luke safe. Like, even like they mention Organa, Senator Organa, Bale. He says that, no. Oh, like they said to him that he's confirmed that Obi-Wan was dead. So he's like, no, don't go looking for him. He's not alive. But he knows he's alive. So they're all protecting the secret of Luke and Leia, essentially. And, the only person to figure out, like, why Obi-Wan is there is Maul. Maul's like, why are you here? And then he's like, you're here for a reason. You're here to protect someone, aren't you? I wonder who that is. That sort of thing. And then right at the end, he's like, when he's dying, he's like, is he the chosen one? And Obi-Wan goes, yes, he is. I still believe that Anakin technically is, because Anakin threw the Emperor down the hole, and Anakin died, so that finishes off the Sith, essentially. Obviously, episode 7 happened, but, at that point, technically Anakin destroyed the Sith, because Emperor doesn't exist anymore, and so does thing. But Luke provided the inspiration for it, essentially, I guess. Typical Anakin takes the long way around for doing things, but yeah, we won't go into that though. But yeah, so it was cool seeing that, like how Obi-Wan manipulating Ezra into like, no. You don't need to come back here. You don't need to find me. You don't need to worry about me. You just do you. Go off, create the rebellion, do that. Like, there's nothing here to see. So that was cool. That was cool. Shows how he's trying to protect Luke at all costs. Like, Luke does not need to be found yet. He's not ready. So, yeah, that was cool. I like that. And there, yeah, obviously the fight happens. Maul gets his ass kicked. And then, yeah, Ezra heads back. He takes Maul's ship. So Resistance has got a Mandalorian ship again. So, the Rebellion, I mean, sorry. They've got a Maul's ship. So that's another ship to add to their collection. And he's like, yeah, well, I shouldn't have run away. I didn't need to go there, essentially. And I should have been here with my friends, with my family. And they continue to plan the attack for Lothal. Which is going to be interesting to see. Obviously, there's a 2-parter coming up next week. So that's going to be huge. But yeah, overall, this episode, it was good, but I was kind of hoping for more of a badass fight. Kind of like what we saw with Ahsoka and Vader at the end of Season 2. I was kind of hoping for something like that with Maul and Obi-Wan. But it was just like, boom, done. Obi-Wan owns him. Just slices him right through the gut. Done. And Maul's dead. Again, Maul gets no respect. Nothing. When it comes to, like, the big-time Jedi character, like, Jedi Sith characters. He is, like, on such a lower level than what Vader and, like, even Dooku and all that, and the Emperor and stuff. He's just that step down apprentice level type thing. And the thing is, though, that, like, hurts, like, Qui-Gon a lot. I mean, think about it. Qui-Gon got his ass kicked by Maul. Obi-Wan kicked Maul's ass twice. So, actually, did he do it in Clone Wars too? I think he did do it in Clone Wars as well. So probably multiple times, we'll say. Poor old Maul. Poor old Maul. He was never meant to be. Like, from his conception as a character, he was never meant to be. Like, he never was meant to be anyone that was meant to do something cool. He wasn't. He gets his ass kicked so many times. And it's like, dude, you're like not even a Sith. You're just a dude with a red lightsaber who gets his ass kicked constantly. He's like the Finn of freaking Sith. He gets his ass kicked every time he holds a lightsaber. That's what he is. That's what he is. So yeah, it was a bit sad to see Maul go that way, because Maul's dead. Maul's dead now. We can't say he's coming back. There's no, like, finding him in a cave, crazy, being crazy or anything. He's dead. That's it. He's buried on Tatooine, and say Obi-Wan, buried him somewhere out in the sands. Oh, well. But yeah, I mean, I guess I was, like, this episode would have been perfect if it just had a little bit more of a fight scene with Maul and Obi-Wan. I was a bit disappointed in that. Obi-Wan was in it very little. Basically had a scene with Ezra, a scene with Maul, and then the scene at the end with Luke and all that running to the house. That was it. And I don't think we're going to see much of Obi-Wan after this. I do not see him, you know, I don't think they're going to go back to see him. They might go back to see him like once, I think. Maybe. Like, maybe Kanan needs to talk to him about something, but I just don't think he's going to become a more recurring character. He ain't going to help the rebellion. It's not going to happen. He is not leaving Tatooine. That will never happen. So I think this might be one of the only times we get to see him. I really do. I think this might be one of the only times we get to see him. I'm still crossing my fingers for an Obi-Wan movie. I want an Obi-Wan movie, like an old Obi-Wan movie with him on Tatooine, maybe like dealing with some hut, being like suppressing people with a young Luke, seeing what he did for the years that he was there by himself. Like, I don't mind Ewan McGregor reprising the role, because I think out of everyone in those prequels, he was the one that was so committed to that role. He so wanted to be a great Obi-Wan, and I think he did do well. He did well with what he was given. So I would love to see an Obi-Wan movie with Ewan McGregor doing an old Obi-Wan. I'd be happy with that. But I don't know what Star Wars Stories is going to do. Hopefully they'll do that. But yeah, this episode was good. I just think it could have been that touch better with the fight scene. But I think it just shows where Obi-Wan is. Like, Obi-Wan is like master, like Yoda level good right now. He's like mastered his craft. The best Jedi he could possibly be. He's got the wisdom now. He's just at that point of being top tier Jedi, I think, is where we can go with that. But yeah, I think that's where it was. But anyway, yeah, I mean, next week we got the the two-parter. I think it's 0 Hour, I think it's called. I think it's going to be the Battle for Lothal. Going to be interesting to see what they do with that. I think there's going to have the scenes with Ezra outside the ship, deflecting basically fighter bolts, like laser bolts. That's going to be kind of cool. And yeah, be interesting to see if we get a Vader sighting. I wouldn't mind seeing a Vader sighting. I think it's going to be just basically the showdown with them and Thrawn. I really do. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. I would not be surprised if the Rebels lose. They have had a lot of wins. Interesting to see if they actually lose this time. But yeah. Alright guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for watching. Basically we'll be back into it this week. Back into the Flash, Flash, Arrow. Arrow, I'm liking the way they're doing Adrian Chase. Go check out my other videos for the reveal and all that. We did that before I left. I like the way Arrow's going right now. Flash is taking an interesting turn. Go check out my other videos if you want to get into, if you're into those shows as well. I got all my opinions on that. Go check them out. If you are interested into taking a chance on my little channel here, hit that subscribe button. Thank you to everyone who has, all the viewers, all the likes, comments, dislikes, all this stuff. Thank you very much. You guys have been fantastic. Like I said, we're back into it this week. We're back into the streaming. Yo, guys, Mass Effect this week. Yes. I'm such a huge Mass Effect fan. I'm so ready for this. I've been staying away from every stream, every video, everything. Just, I want to go in completely fresh. I even stayed away from it at PAX. I wasn't going near Mass Effect because I was like, I want to be completely surprised by what I go in and see. I don't want to be spoiled by anything. So that's going to be all this week. I don't know if I'll put it up on the YouTube channel, but it will be on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AverageKiwiGuy07. So go check that out. Also AverageKiwiGuy on the socials. You guys know what to do. Twitter, all that. It's all there. AverageKiwiGuy. But yeah, back into it this week. Sorry for the lack of videos this week. Like I said, I've been traveling, and then I just wasn't feeling good when I got back. Like, I don't know if it was jet lag, just getting back into the swing of things, just wasn't in the right headspace, everything. So sorry about that, guys, but we're straight back into it this week. Promise. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.